I hope you're excited because today's recipe is both a staple of Chinese Michelin-star restaurants and a part of the typical training regimen for aspiring Chinese chefs. It might seem intimidating, but with my dad's recipe for the one and only
當紅炸子雞
crispy skin chicken, you'll be frying up the crispiest skin and tender chicken meat at home in no time. We'll start with my dad's 4-step process to prepare the chicken.
我隻雞係3磅半多啲咁上下隻雞。
Step 1, we'll clean and dry the chicken.
首先咧，將隻雞洗乾淨先，雞腳咧就要除咗佢唔要啦。喺個雞腳個關節唔好喺上邊，咁咧喺呢度咧 cut 咗佢咧，炸起上嚟咧啲皮唔會縮上去啦嚇。喺呢度，唔好喺呢度，喺呢度。
We'll first cut off the chicken feet at or below the first joint.
就咁就得㗎啦。
Now, we'll wash the chicken with a large bowl of clean water.
要洗乾淨隻雞先嚇，喺度洗。最緊要咧入邊睇下有冇嗰啲紅色嘅雞肺啊，入邊嗰啲啊，啲雞肺就唔抹乾洗乾淨佢嚇。洗嘅時候咧，盡量捏下佢，將啲肉捏鬆下佢。
As we rinse, we'll massage the chicken, resulting in more tender meat.
呢度雞毛嘅雞口嗰度，再洗乾淨。
Nora from Patreon asks, is there a preference to Buddhist chicken or organic chicken?
觀你咩雞都好，你唔好超過4磅嗰頭，你就通常人哋就炸雞都係3磅零3磅多啲咁嘅炸雞。
點解唔好超過4磅啊？
大隻咪就難熟啲咯。
難熟咯。
你喺餐館又唔同，餐館就佢大油爐成隻雞浸晒落去炸，大隻都唔怕。你喺屋企炸啦，日油少啊嘛。嗱，洗嘅時候咧，掹下啲腳，鬆下佢，嗱，捏下佢啲肉。
點解要整鬆啊？
整鬆咧，佢啲肉咧會炸熟之後熟咗咧，啲肉就唔會咁實。洗乾淨咧，啲嘢裝住佢喺度，跟住擎水佢。
哦，呢個係咩雞嚟啊？
呢都普通嘅雞，白雞嚟嘅。洗乾淨之後咧，我哋咧就將入邊買乾嘅雞胸佢，飲乾水佢。
Now, we'll wipe the inside of the chicken dry with a paper towel.
出邊咧有俾毛巾，乾淨嘅毛巾有乾佢。乾親之後咧，醃嘅時候咧就會入味啲啦。
With the chicken dry, we'll move on to step 2, seasoning our chicken.
而家就開啲味咯喎，2個湯匙嘅鹽，我就留翻半個湯匙喺嚟醃出邊。呢度個半多度，個半得啦。五香粉1個茶匙，唔中意五香粉用蒜子鹽都 OK。呢個係1/4白胡椒粉，就攪勻佢。
We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlao.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home. Now it's time to use the dry rub we just mixed.
而家就醃雞，有五香粉好好啲咧，將佢搽入去入邊嘅雞胸入邊。望呢個係啲肥油嚟嘅，嗱，將佢倒入去入邊。
We'll use it for the inside of the chicken.
盡量撈到個雲。
點解要撈入邊？因為入邊係有好多骨啊。
因為炸嘅時候咧，係出邊唔適宜俾呢啲入嘅，咁先喺入邊醃。
We'll rub in the seasoning thoroughly, making sure to cover every part of the inside.
盡量一捽勻佢嚇，大力啲都唔怕。好啦，入邊就整晒啦，而家整出邊呢啲鹽嚟嘅嚇，咁樣用啲鹽醃過個皮嗰兩，將佢啲水分扯咁樣出嚟，係嘛？
Now we'll rub the salt we set aside onto the outside of the chicken thoroughly.
醃嘅時候捏下佢鬆下啲肉。好啦，而家擺喺度醃佢10分至20分鐘咧，整佢皮啦。
Now we'll wait 10 to 20 minutes for the salt to further dry out the moisture from the skin. Next up is step 3, blanching.
隻雞醃到而家咧，我哋開始將啲皮俾啲滾水飛水嘅嗬。開火。
We'll add 6 cups of boiling hot water to the wok and turn the heat to high.
好啦，水滾啦，我而家咧就將啲滾水淋佢嘅皮，都係記住唔好淋入邊，淨係淋啲皮得㗎啦嗬。
We'll ladle the hot water onto the outside of the chicken.
點解唔淋入邊啊？
入邊入咗味醃咗味啦嘛，你淋入去咁咪啲味咪走晒咯。目的就去咁啲面上嗰陣油，咁上嘅時候咧，炸嘅時候嗰啲皮就會脆啦。嗱，一淥咗之後咧，啲皮馬上已經漲晒啦，係嘛？開頭稠皮㗎嘛。嗱，睇到皮已經漲咗嘛，係嘛？再落落個雞頭先嗱，更加底嗱，佢更加底落落佢嗱。
Make sure to cover every part of the outside, including under the wings.
而家擎乾水佢嗱，通常咧就人哋有隻鈎餐館咧就鈎住隻翼咁掛喺度吹風，俾風扇吹佢嘅。 好多人冇勾㗎，冇勾咪俾佢將喺雞胸咪切落去，咁咪一樣可以吹風啦，係嘛？吹咁將佢呢邊轉一轉佢，好快脆乾嘅啫。呢種滾水落過去。
At this point, we'll let the chicken completely dry using a small fan to help us. As it dries, we'll start with step 4, glazing.
搞呢個醋係節醋嚟嘅，用一個湯匙，呢個醋係炸起上嚟嘅皮更加靚。呢個係白醋，白醋呢一個湯匙夠啦。
應該要兩樣啊。
醋酸啲，呢個就甜啲。通常咧就多數都用兩樣醋嘅，個半。
We're using both Chinese red vinegar and white rice vinegar here. As my dad mentions, the red vinegar enhances the color of the skin when it's fried and has a more acidic flavor. The white rice vinegar here is slightly sweeter than the red. Both vinegars help to further dry out the skin for a more crispy texture, which the next ingredient will also enhance.
蜜糖，餐館多數用麥芽糖，因為呢個糖咧蜜糖就靚啲嘅，自己食，我係中意俾蜜糖，用2個湯匙，俾microwave度叮佢10秒20秒。等啲糖快脆啲溶嚇。
To help the honey dissolve, we'll microwave it for 10 to 20 seconds and continue mixing so it's incorporated.
輕輕加熱就得㗎啦。摸落佢乾身㗎啦，已經冇水㗎啦。就0-20分鐘就啲皮已經乾晒㗎啦。乾咗之後咧，你就可以上嗰啲色㗎，上個皮啦。要用個油掃嚟掃。頭先開咗嗰啲蜜糖水、醋。
With a basting brush, we'll apply the honey and vinegar glaze onto the chicken.
搽勻佢。柯羅搽勻晒啦，啲皮柯羅上晒佢，但係啲更加底嘅啫，啲更加底嗰度。
如果個皮唔係完全紅色咧，
炸得上嚟就或者冇咁靚噶啦，知道嘛
How do you get consistent coloring on the chicken, even below the wing?
首先你要上皮上得好，搽嗰啲醋上去嗰陣時咪叫做上皮咧，搽得靚，同埋吹得個乾，同埋啲油好緊要，多啲油咧炸得佢就梗係勻盡靚啲噶啦。上咗皮之後咧，就用風扇吹。通常咧，你喺餐館咧掛過夜、吹過夜㗎都。如果你係夾住用咗2個鐘頭、3個鐘頭，俾個雪櫃擺2-3個鐘頭扯，佢會車乾咗。
喺雪櫃可以擺過夜。
如果你咁樣擺雪櫃擺過夜，仲靚添，車得仲乾。好啦，而家就係咁得㗎啦，要有吹一排先係夠乾㗎啦。
Now we'll let the chicken air dry in a cool place or in the fridge for at least 2 to 3 hours. After that, we'll need to wok for our next step.
在炸雞之前呢，由我先同大家介紹下整懷鹽點做法。通常喺出邊餐館咧食炸子雞咧，佢係俾隻碟仔咁整支懷鹽出去俾你點嘅。當佢點唔點就隨得你用啦嚇。開火，炒懷鹽最緊要就唔好太猛火。慢火咁炒，慢慢炒佢轉咗色就得㗎啦。而家咧我就俾兩個湯匙咁上下嘅懷鹽上去啦。OK， 就慢火咁樣炒佢。
We'll mix the salt around while it cooks on low.
就千祈唔好猛火喎。炒到嗰啲鹽咧慢慢轉咗黃色啦，咁就 OK 㗎啦。即係炒熱啲鹽得㗎啦。
We'll stir fry the salt for just 40 to 50 seconds.
有啲餐館咧，如果你唔問佢攞，佢唔俾條懷鹽俾你。你問佢攞咧，佢就會俾你。
係咪平時係有啲蝦餅咧？係咪啊？
係啊。炸蝦片係 come with 呢個 dish 好多都上嘅。
半呢個邊啫嘛。好啦，夠鑊夠熱啦。好啦，如果炒咗咧，呢個碗仔裝住佢啦。
Now, we'll pour out the salt and quickly add our other seasonings.
趁呢個鹽仲係熱嘅時候咧，就俾半個茶匙個五香粉上去，跟住攪勻佢。啲鹽熱就變咗嗰啲五香粉咧就熱咗，就發出啲香味啦。加少少胡椒粉上去，懷鹽咧好多作用，你椒鹽蝦啊、椒鹽咩都係用懷鹽而家。
In Chinese cuisine, the concept of frying chicken in hot oil dates back thousands of years in dishes like Chang'an hulu chicken. But until recently, deep frying was much less common than steaming or roasting because historically, there wasn't much fat and oil to go around. Unlike American fried chicken, our Cantonese-style crispy skin chicken, also known as 當紅炸子雞, has no batter and uses a special poaching technique to create the crispiest skin and the most tender meat. Traditionally, this dish is minimal on spices to highlight the chicken's natural crunch and flavors. Here, the most important seasoning is 5-spice powder, or Phan-Nguyen in Cantonese. It's a popular blend of spices that usually consists of cinnamon, fennel seeds, star anise, cloves, and pepper. While the number of ingredients in the blend can vary, the number 5 actually represents the traditional Chinese elements and flavors. These flavors shine in this recipe as each spice's aroma is unlocked in this next step.
好，而家開始炸雞開慢火喎，
We'll heat up the wok before adding the oil.
俾啲油上去，
有幾多油啊？
係12安士至1磅咁上下嘅油，啲油可以用翻嘅，炸完之後可以煮菜，煮乜都得㗎。
唔係多啲油係容易啲。
係啊，多啲油佢係會容易啲炸，用啲油會多啲嘅時候咧，佢浸個油皮嘅面積多啲，咁你反動嘅次數就唔使咁多，咁佢個皮嘅顏色就會比較勻循啲。就炸之前咧，將個雞頸嚟剪個部分剪咗佢出嚟，咁樣佢就容易炸啲噶啦。
We'll cut off the head and neck here.
通常咧，我就係用300度嘅油溫去炸。你大家如果冇呢嗰個溫度計㗎啦，你用個筷子擺落去，佢輕輕有啲泡上嚟嘅，咁啊夠晒啦。而家就谷足夠300度啦。炸雞之前咧，我就用個嘢剪一剪底，將啲雞皮最重要嘅部分唔好直接咁黐住個鑊嗰度。而家咧啱啦 ，OK， 慢慢炸落去啊。我哋先炸雞胸嘅部分嚇。
When the oil is at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll lower the chicken into the wok breast side down.
你可唔可以解釋點樣安全啲炸？
即係咁嘅油溫，你慢慢放落去，唔好砰一聲打落去，知道嘛？上邊咧我就要擺啲油慢慢淋上去啦。
而家要炸幾耐
？10分鐘，炸反轉再炸，加埋晒有起碼20分鐘先得嘅。慢慢淋，因為我哋唔好似餐館啲油，呢啲油浸晒隻雞炸啊嘛，擺落去浸多一半啦，浸一半咁上下就 OK 噶啦。
而家唔使開火啊？
就慢慢浸到佢差唔多半熟咁上下啦，因為佢嘅用有油溫喺度啊嘛。如果270幾咧，即係等於你啲滾水滾嘅咩啦。好啦，而家咧我就開翻個慢火，最慢嘅火出嚟，增加啲油溫。如果仲係啲油仲係滾緊嘅。如果你太過猛火咧，出邊就燶咗，入邊就未熟，你明白嗎？
At this point, it's important to manage the temperature while ladling the oil. My dad turns on the heat and tries to maintain the oil at a temperature close to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, or the boiling point of water.
我而家210幾度，即係滾水嘅程度。開頭係300，咁咧擺落去，慢慢個溫度會降低啦，係咪？
We'll continue ladling the oil over the whole chicken while keeping the oil at temperature for about 8 minutes. Then we can flip the chicken over.
好啦，我而家反轉佢就站嗰邊啦，用鑊鏟反轉佢啦。
We'll use our spatula and chopsticks to flip our chicken carefully.
呢度已經就係黐咗㗎啦。
Remember to keep the spatula between the chicken and the wok to minimize burning.
而家仲係滾緊啲油㗎，而家就炸個擺背脊嗰邊啦。
Now we'll do the same oil ladling technique with this side. We'll do this for about 6 minutes.
How do you keep the tenderness of the chicken while crisping the skin?
炸之前咧，要攣到佢係咁按摩佢，等佢盡量啲雞肉鬆咗，咁你炸嘅時候咧，佢就唔會咁容易啲汁走晒出嚟。同埋炸嘅時候咧，唔好炸得太時間長。300度嘅時候炸，慢慢炸熟佢，炸熟嘅之後先再400度炸，咁炸翻啲皮，佢啲皮就脆啦。好啦，差唔多啦已經，第一次就差唔多得噶啦，炸個雞髀嗰邊先嗱。
After the 6 minutes, we'll turn the chicken on its side and continue ladling for about a minute. At this point, my dad turns off the heat.
再炸一隻雞髀呢邊，炸呢隻雞髀呢邊嘅雞髀 ，OK。
We'll repeat with the chicken turned on its other side for a minute, still ladling oil all over.
好，留起佢先，插住個雞翼嗰度，呢度。
With chopsticks, we'll remove it from the wok and set it aside.
留起之後咧，就擺喺度，一動先。呢個時候咧，炸埋隻雞頸落。
Now, we'll quickly fry our chicken head, also at around 212 degrees Fahrenheit for just 4 minutes.
OK， 雞頸就得啦。
After we remove the chicken head, we can turn up the heat to get that golden brown color on the skin. We'll aim for an oil temperature of around 375 degrees Fahrenheit.
唔好超過400咯。嗱，啲皮好脹嘅而家。插住佢嗱。
We'll carefully lift the chicken.
我哋呢個淋油啊。
And with the chicken upright, we'll carefully ladle the hot oil onto it.
Can you make this with just chicken parts, not a whole chicken?
得，雞髀就好過雞胸啦。如果啲雞胸成個雞胸咁有雞皮搭住喺度， 都得㗎，一樣係咁醃過嘅。
個時間咧？
時間就唔使咁炸咁耐啦，因為佢唔係成隻啊嘛。
唔係成隻嘛。
炸雞髀咧就容易好多啦。
After ladling oil with it upright for about 1 to 2 minutes, we'll turn our heat off and lay down the chicken like before. We'll fry for another 6 to 7 minutes, flipping occasionally to get an even color on all sides.
Can you do this in an air fryer?
都得，有少少唔同咯。
要唔要買個好大個嘅氣炸鍋啊？
你總之裝落隻雞就得啦。
裝雞髀。
雞髀就仲最容易嘅。
咁要唔要反啊？
都要反嘅，氣炸鍋一定要反㗎。佢隻底下有啲黑色嘅嘢，咪整乾淨佢嚇。OK。
Now, after 6 to 7 minutes, we'll remove the chicken and set it aside, which completes our first stage of deep frying.
而家炸到咁樣，第一次就炸完咗啦。而家咧等佢凍咗之後咧，就再炸個皮。
Before the next step, we need to let the chicken completely cool down. My dad waited about 30 minutes here. Then we can heat up our oil again, aiming for 375 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
OK，而家咧就第二次炸，將個皮脆啲嗬。而家並且任淋佢，如果開到375咁上下嘅油溫，我哋俾佢就呢咁就佢啲油淋上去嗱。
And again, we'll ladle the hot oil onto the chicken, which we'll hold above the wok, breast side down. We'll do this for about 4 minutes, making sure to cover all the parts of the chicken. Here, my dad checks to see where he needs to ladle more oil.
How long in advance can you make this and still have the skin be crispy?
凍咗之後再擺落個油爐翻炸，咁佢就好脆啦。
等你準備食咁先翻炸。
最好就係咁樣。
咁通常如果譬如等2個鐘頭咁啊，肯定冇脆咯嗬。
有啲汁喺度啊嘛。
有啲汁喺度。
啲汁咁佢滲去啲皮嗰度，佢咪軟咗咯。
Between the first and second fry, like what's the longest amount of time you can wait?
2、3日都冇問題，你擺喺雪櫃就。
炸第一次已經煮熟晒啦。
係已經熟啦。
第二次係真係整
攞脆，攞個皮脆，早到1個半個鐘頭攞出嚟先至散下啲凍嘅先再炸，因為佢本身係凍嘅，你再炸聲擺落去，你再就算你炸到個皮係靚，啲肉都係凍㗎嘛。翻炸嘅時候都有2、3分鐘就可以夠油溫炸。OK， 我炸個雞胸啦。
After ladling, we can turn off the heat. Then we'll lower and raise the chicken into the hot oil a few times to fry the breast side.
你個油溫高啊嘛，你再唔拎起佢咪你燶晒咯，有高噶啦，啲油溫高而家。OK。
After that, we can set it aside and we're done with the frying. At this point, we'll let the chicken rest for at least 30 minutes before chopping it up so we can retain all its juiciness. Here's a summary of the frying process. Our first fry will start with the oil around 300 degrees Fahrenheit. With the breast side down, we'll let the chicken fry for about 8 minutes while we ladle the oil over the chicken continuously. We can let the temperature fall to around 212 degrees Fahrenheit and maintain it there. Then we'll flip the chicken over and fry for 6 minutes, still ladling the oil over it the whole time. Finally, we'll fry each thigh for about a minute each. At this point, we'll remove the whole chicken and you can fry the chicken head at 212 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 minutes and set it aside. Now, we'll turn up the oil temperature to 375 degrees Fahrenheit to get that golden brown color. We'll first ladle the oil with the chicken upright for about 1 to 2 minutes, then lay down the chicken and repeat our process from before. With the oil hotter, pay special attention to the skin and make sure it doesn't burn, which is why we flip multiple times here. We'll fry for another 6 to 7 minutes, but you'll have to monitor closely because it'll vary based on your chicken and specific cooking setup. With the first frying stage done, we'll let the chicken cool completely. It's at this point you can decide what you prefer for your final dish. For juicier meat, we'll do our second fry very soon after the chicken cools down, around 30 minutes. For crispier skin, like at the restaurant, we'll do the second fry much later, even leaving it in the fridge overnight or longer, which will dry out the whole chicken more.
喺餐館做嘅炸子雞炸好咗，佢一次係炸好多個嘅。炸好咗之後咧，佢拎入個雪櫃。呢個雪櫃咧，佢有啲係擺過夜先出嚟賣嘅，咁佢已經係乾晒水。再翻炸嘅時候，佢又好脆，但係佢乾水就冇我哋啲雞即刻炸好，冇咁多汁。但係佢嘅皮咧，餐館炸出嚟嘅皮咧 就比我屋企做嘅咧就脆啲。如果我哋隻雞擺到聽日再翻炸佢，就有餐館嘅後果。
With your chicken cooled down after the first fry, we'll heat up the oil to 375 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for our second fry. With the breast side facing down and not touching the oil, we'll ladle the hot oil over the chicken for 4 minutes, checking to see that all parts are covered. Then, we'll turn off the heat and lower the bottom side of the chicken into the oil a couple times to fry it. Once the skin is fried to your liking, we'll remove the chicken and set it aside for at least 30 minutes before chopping it into smaller pieces to serve.
好，睇我雞而家就炸好咗，擺咗有半個鐘頭啦。即刻斬嘅話就啲入邊嗰啲汁啊就會流晒出嚟。你等一陣間，等半個鐘頭唔陣先至再斬隻雞，啲雞汁咧就會保留翻喺嚿雞肉入邊啊。斬隻雞啦啊！斬咗個雞尾先啊，就喺中間開佢。
With the cleaver, we'll chop the chicken in half right down the middle.
個雞胸度嗱開出去啊！呢個咧係右邊嘅嚇，記得右邊嗰邊嘅嚇。雞翼起出嚟先，嗱切咗啲雞翼就再起雞髀，嗱雞髀咁樣順住起咗佢。
We'll first cut off the wing and the thigh.
佢嗱，咁拉開佢得㗎啦，嗱。好靚，啲雞肉仲喺啲雞汁保留喺入邊，然之後雞胸肉呢度咧中間。
Then we'll cut the breast in half lengthwise.
通常爭呢啲係唔係硬骨嘅，用雞嘅刀肚就得㗎啦。
For more comprehensive lessons on knife technique and safety, we're super excited to invite you to the CANTO Cooking Club, a membership where you'll learn to cook and think just like a Cantonese chef. First off, Made with Lau is here to stay and we'll still be sharing recipes and tips on YouTube every single week. So if memberships aren't your thing, no pressure. But for those of you who are super curious and passionate, if you want an expert to walk you through step-by-step how to master Cantonese cooking, then this might be perfect for you. In the CANTO Cooking Club, we're not just giving you recipes. For less than the cost of takeout, we're distilling my dad's 50 years of experience into organized, easy to follow classes, teaching you how to set up your kitchen, how to use a wok, how to craft and improvise with different flavors, and more. When you join, you get instant access to everything, and every month you'll get a new class to build on your foundation with videos, printouts, and master your recipes. It's all on demand, so you can learn at your own pace and not have to show up at specific times. Also, in our private community, you'll get to connect directly with Daddy Lau, make new friends, and cultivate better cooking habits through our weekly challenges. So if you want cooking to feel more effortless and intuitive, go to club.madewithlao.com or click the link in our description to sign up.
雞胸肉，個雞背脊斬雞背脊呢度嚇。
Then rotate and chop those halves into inch-wide pieces.
嗱，而家斬咗一邊咧，個雞背脊嗰度咧，咁我就擺翻呢度係右邊嘅，就擺翻右邊，呢度雞胸肉，嗱。
And we'll do the same with the other half, chopping into 1 inch wide pieces and plate it on the appropriate side.
喺中間，擺翻中間呢度，同呢邊咧又係一樣。
Now we'll repeat those steps with the left side of the chicken and plate on the left side. Then we'll move on to the thighs. We'll first cut off the drumstick, then cut it in half. For the rest of the thigh, we'll also cut it into 1 inch wide pieces.
跟住佢隻雞左邊還左邊，右邊還右邊，咁樣擺翻正佢。
Then with the wing, we'll chop off the tip, then chop it in half. 嘅翼尖擺翻呢邊。To complete the plating, we'll need the head, so we'll chop off the rest of the neck and discard it.
嗱，呢個雞擺翻雞頭呢度，咁就完美啦。
With our chicken plated, we'll pair it with our salt seasoning dip from earlier and serve it to our family.
The pay is good, just like we order in the restaurant.
好啦，朋友們，當紅炸子雞就炸好咗啦，希望大家中意。紅隊吃雞咯！
One more loves. One more?
Wow.
Wow,
YouTube thinks you'll like this recipe next. Let's see if they're right. A huge thank you to our wok stars and all of our chefs in the CANTO Cooking Club.